So yesterday I put up a blog post called "The Number Two Problem in the Wine Sales Game," and I immediately started getting some great feedback from people saying, this is right on. This is could be applicable to any business, and I invite you to check it out. It's on my website, salisburycreative.com. But I also wanted to make a video because not everybody wants to take time to read. Here's the idea: the number two problem in the wine sales game is accepting or tolerating low value activity. By the way, the number one problem in the wine sales game is depending too much on your distributors. And I've got 2 blog posts that you could read up on that if you're interested. But right behind that is this problem where salespeople are spending time on low value activities, and what's worse is their leaders and the owners are allowing it. The wine business has become so competitive. I mean, you cannot afford to spend your time on low-value activities. And here's a couple examples that I'm talking about. Selling to restaurants or wine shops that are never capable of any kind of serious volume. Selling one case at a time. Spending money and time on store demos or trade tastings where there's no real impact on the business. You just can't tolerate this if you want to make your sales goals. The wine business is unique in that it's too difficult to increase volume or decrease volume at will. You're kind of locked into your volume. So volume becomes the number one business imperative. And you would think with all the wineries out there and all this competition, and by the way, there are more wineries whose sales are down for 2018 than there were for wineries whose sales were up. This could be your ticket to accelerating sales. Stop the low value activity, reallocate the time and investment and manpower into accounts where it's really going to make a difference. Let me illustrate this for you. So this is a very typical chart of what the 80-20 rule looks like. Any territory in America could be represented by this chart. The business is concentrated in a small number of accounts. It's like that for every market, for every product category, every price tier. The business is concentrated. You spend any time at all down here, not only are you wasting money, you're cutting your potential significantly. You must have the discipline to ignore the low value accounts and spend all of your time on the high value accounts. If you do this, you're going to dramatically accelerate your sales. But part of the problem is it's not really the salesperson's fault per se. It's their leader's fault and their ownership fault. They don't have a mechanism by which to monitor this and to stop it in its tracks. The best way to do this is using a CRM system that's loaded with the best RAD data you can buy. There's no room for intuition. There's no room for gut feel. There's no room for just doing it. You must have a disciplined approach to the territory. Otherwise, you're going to just continue to spend a lot of time and energy for very little return. In my line of work as a consultant for wine sales teams and craft distillery sales teams, I often hear salespeople say, "Oh, I'm just so busy. I don't have time to do that. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy." Well, whenever I hear that, a big red flag goes off in my mind. Show me a salesperson who's harried, and I'll show you a salesperson who doesn't have a plan. I mean, the only reason you're overwhelmed is because you're not being strategic in the use of your time. One of my gurus and mentors, Timothy Ferriss, who wrote The 4-Hour Workweek, he said that being overwhelmed is just as unproductive as doing nothing and far more unpleasant. And the fact is, most things don't matter or matter very little, and you've got to stop doing them. You need to identify where the richest targets are in the market and restrict your activity to that group. If you do, your sales are going to dramatically increase. So give some thought to this idea of too much activity on low value accounts, too much emphasis on low value activity. To the degree that you stop that, you're going to have a dramatic increase in your sales. I love the quote from Pat Riley, the great NBA coach. He said, "Figure out what's causing you to lose and stop doing it." Well, I'm telling you, this is a big, big deal. And if you get a hold of it, if you arrest this low value activity, you will see a dramatic increase in sales. If you want to talk further, as always, I put my email and my phone number on this video. I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.